Are you sick of reading all these reborn stories, all these regression stories, isekai walking, regression, and all of this stuff that I have cheats of my past life or I've been reborn in order to go through? Well, if you are falling into one of those categories and you want to actually read something more refreshing, more realistic, and just a little bit of fantasy touched in there, well then, you've come to the right place, because today we're gonna go through my current favorite manhwa of all time. All time, I've said it. Yes, I know I said current, but all time right now because it is too good. It is called Overgeared! If you're already familiar with all these dive kind of animes like SAO, well, I'll tell you what, Overgeared is gonna do a complete 180 for you, alright? Because, look, if you played virtual reality and, you know, you thought, the current virtual reality is this and that, it's not really that advanced, but then we talk about deep dive, and you're like, oh, wow, deep dive, you got SAO, you got Gundam Build, like, you cannot get any better than that. And yes, I said Gundam Build because Gundam Divers, I refuse to accept it, but it's good. But Gundam Build is so much better. But I won't really, you know, go into that too much. But I'll tell you what, Overgeared starts like this, right? Imagine you're a deep diver, right? To all the people who play MMOs, like, you know, especially to people like veterans playing WoW. Myself, I played like 10 years worth, will know how a proper RPG goes, right? An MMORPG, you basically go in, you create your own character, you've got a class, you've got all your skills, etc, 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 etc. People are always trying to explore, people are trying to pioneer their way through all the quests, try to find out all the kind of content that they can get, and you know, you want to unlock legendary stuff, you want to do all the unbelievable achievements. And so we come to get introduced to our main character, which is Grid. And, you know, some translation is greed, like as in, you know, the 7 deadly sins greed, or grid now, which is GRID, part of the grid if you like Tron. But like anyway, besides from that, I think there was a little bit of confusion from that, but either way, it does not matter. The main character's name is Greed, and however you take his name, he's actually someone who's played the MMO called Satisfy for quite a while. He deep dived in there, and look, you know, he spent everything that he's got, all his resources, all his dedication, but he is just pure bad luck. He started with a character that's really severely under-leveled, underpowered. He's like, you know, if you compare him to Rags and Riches, he is in the rags, the bottom of the rags. But, you know, fortunately for him, there was a quest that he was assigned that he went to get in, and then by the time he got it by dying over and over and over and over and over, and taking the penalty, which is like, you know, minus experience, minus level and stuff, he kept on rolling until he finally got there. And, you know, to his dismay, at the end of his completion, when he was supposed to be handing over something that he was supposed to steal and seek out, you know, he was backstabbed by NPC, and the NPC, you know, was getting smug, but he said, you know what, screw this, you know, and he just goes on a rampage, and he goes, if I'm gonna die anyway, then I might as well use this legendary for myself, and I'm just gonna do it, right? This is not worth an investment if I'm gonna die anyway, I don't care, so let's see where this takes me, right? I can do whatever I want, because, you know, it is a deep dive, it is an MMORPG, this is my character, since I've had so much bad luck with it, then, you know, so be it. But to his dismay, which is really interesting, to his dismay, after all that, he went from one of the higher levels, not the highest cap, right? But he went from pretty high level, reset back down to level 1 or level 0. I can't even remember because memory is starting to fade. But like, he went down to a starting level. So he dropped over 100 something levels, and he was just like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? But what he was shocked at is that he ascended from a normal scrubby class, right? Any everyday average class. He went in to become Pagma's descendant, which basically meant that he is a legendary class now. And you know, not everyone knows what the legendary class is at all the time. You got normal class, you got rare class, you got specific class, but legendary class, that was completely new. So, you know, he was reborn, and Pagma is actually a blacksmith. So if you know your lore and stuff, Pagma, descendant, Paimon and all that, basically you're going to be doing blacksmithing. But then on top of that, you know, he stumbled through a lot of quests, he stumbled through like scenarios that is basically catered towards his class, and then you go from there where he, you know, has to relearn skills that's actually related to his job specific, which was a blacksmith, compared to like a swordman. He doesn't really get anything in that kind of sense, but thankfully enough for him, he does get a little bit of a level up in the beginning, and then they said that you need to start crafting. And I think that part of the story is probably the best thing that happened. Author Dong-wook Lee did an amazing job writing this story, because what happens then is that anyone who does professions in any MMO or any game just knows and you make something, right? And you get percentages of getting a role, of getting something amazing. Sometimes you don't get any, and you get level ups and stuff. But on this one, Satisfy, the MMO deep diver, basically you need to like keep on rolling, keep on molding it until you have enough of a completion rate of understanding before you can start making something amazing. And of course, all the professional classes, especially like blacksmith, hasn't really like become and evolved into that place where everyone's like, oh my god, there's so many good gears out there. No, like you get something on an epic purple level, that's already like considered, oh my god, that's top tier instantly, right? So we can going all the way back to like vanilla WoW days, where you see a purple, you're losing your mind over it, right? And basically it's the same thing for Grid. He's like just trying to pump it away, and in the beginning, his profession actually tells him that you can actually make a few objects. You can make things from your creativity, but you have to hold on to your mentality and your strength in order to go through. And every time you make something epic or something unique grade or something like a legendary grade, you actually get stats and level up. But because the most interesting aspect of this story comes out is that Greed is filled with bad luck, and he on top of the bad luck, he's very sulky about it, right? So he's sulky, he's salty, he's not having a good time, and he's always like getting messed up, and he's like, how can I have so much bad luck? And that part is the most realistic MMO thing I've ever seen anyone do. Some people are just cursed with bad luck, and I can attest to that, because I got a friend in particular who knows exactly what I'm talking about. And the legendary class was made to have the opposite effect, that you're supposed to have really good luck, you're supposed to be really overpowered. But because Grid is filled with bad luck, he sort of untipped the balance, and because of the unnecessary bad luck, he kept on obtaining extra points for completing stuff, getting extra stats. But then he take that extra stats, and there was the untapped growth, the restricted growth became untapped growth, and he just kept on growing for no reason, and he started becoming overpowered through his curse of bad luck. And on top, he's just the more he plays, the more he matures, but then the maturity level is still stuck at a a very salty MMO player kind of play. It's like, oh, I'm doing so much stuff, but there's still so much more people better than me. There's still so many things I can do and so many things I need to do. I'm still very vulnerable. My class is so useless besides, hammering my blacksmith away and trying to do something. But, the more I play, the more satisfied I get and the more fun I get. And then, you start to see and blur between, the deep dive and someone's maturity level starting to evolve. And especially coming from the bottom of the bottom, where over 2 billion players are playing, you're the only legendary class right now. And, you have so much things and potential that you can get into, but it takes an unnecessary amount of time to get into. And then you might think, oh my god, now I'm finally there, now I'm finally getting somewhere, right? And then the world start turning attention to him. But without spoiling onto what Overgeared is like right now, I highly implore everyone to go and start picking up Overgeared. The support is absolutely amazing. Everyone is spewing really good words about it, really good favorability with the manhwa. And of course, on top of all that, you have my personal recommendation. I refuse to drop anything else, right? So for me, I like to read my manhwa almost every day. Whenever I get an update, I will do it. But then on top of that, when Overgeared pops up, I drop everything and I just have to go for it. And Overgeared, in terms of art style, it starts on a good point and it goes even more better right now. So the art style has never been better. It is very, very colorful and vibrant, and it is one of those deep dive kind of manhwas that you can really evolve into. The story is top tier. The story, I will say, out of 10, I will give it 9.5. We're not even completely like done with the manhwa. I'm already 9.5 into it. I'm still craving for more, and I hope Overgeared gets adapted into a proper animation, because I will definitely be in there. But please do not screw it up. Do not shorten it. Just do it as it is. Do it justice. Don't speed things up. We want to watch it just like that, right? That is how much I love this one. And then on top of in terms of how the story, the relationships, and unbalanced potential and how it develops, I would say on that maturity level it's a very close 9.3, only because the NPCs are very good. They are not like just random mobs that does nothing out there. They will have their own little thing, and then how he interacts, how things are balanced out, how everyone around revolving around the MMO element is actually really accurate, because you get elite guilds, you get guilds that are very evil, you get guilds that are just normal for getting clout, you got good guilds that's going through, you got like competitive guilds, you got overseas guild, they've got their own Olympics, which is amazing. Hello. All these kind of competitions, they talk about the professions well, the resources are really good, they talk about potential expansions and how things are supposed to be, and how someone from Grid's immaturity and salty level evolves over time, and even to this point he's still hit with bad luck. There's a lot of borderline storylines where things that you normally don't think about that could work, but it works very well in Overgeared, and that's why it's a high recommendation from me, and it is my absolute favorite manhwa till this day. This one, I'm talking about, this one for me ranks above solo leveling, ranks above Tower of God. That is how good it is. Like, even if we're talking about, if we combine Boundless Necromancer, Infinite Gacha, if we're talking about Solan and all that, I'm still thinking Overgeared is still inching out right there. That's how good it is. So if you still haven't seen it, make sure to go and watch it. And of course, to all the people who are watching it here now, if you do enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, sub, and turn on the notification bell. It really does help a lot, especially since I'm making a lot more videos every day. And of course, I'm starting to stream on this week, starting from today, right after everything else. Yeah, so make sure to follow. It's over there. Yeah, it's over here. That's right. Follow all the social media over there, and I'll catch you on the stream. But yes, if you do want to see a lot more of this kind of video, make sure to let me know in the comments exactly what you want me to explain. If I haven't read it, I definitely will take your suggestions to go and read it. And of course, if there's something that I do see that I'm like, oh yeah, we're on the same point, your comment will just be on the next one of the video. So hope you like that. Hope you have a really nice day. This is ZK. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you then. Peace.